Hey everyone, today's video we're going to talk about three main points. We're going to talk about where we are right now in the market in terms of how we're playing it today. We're going to talk about the Federal Reserve that has a meeting in 2 weeks, and then we're going to talk about how we see the market playing out through the end of the year. We're going to be very specific on this. So the market right now, we're currently in a hold. We went there on August 20th. The market has, no surprise to us, rolled over since then. We are right on the brink of a buy signal. We're not there yet, and but we bought the dip that happened in mid-July, early August, rode it up to 820, right on top of new all-time highs, and then we went to a hold, and as you know, we have seen the market pull back. So it is September. September is notoriously the weakest month of the year. Over the past 95 years, from 1928 when they were tracking these things, September is seasonally the worst month. It's down an average of 1.1%. But you can get some pretty bad markets too. And then we have October, which is notoriously volatile, where it's not the worst month in terms of performance, but it is the most volatile in terms of crashes and then rebounds. And then we have the election. Okay, so we're going to respect the seasonality of what's going on. As far as the Federal Reserve goes, let's move on to that. We see the Federal Reserve cutting a quarter point on September 18th, so in 2 weeks. We think hands down they should be going 50, or they should have done 25 in July and then 25 again in September. I don't want to get into why. I'll just keep it high level today. But we see a 25 basis point cut. At the beginning of the year, we expected 2 cuts, maybe 3. Well, it certainly looks like we were right. We're going to get our 2. Now I'm going to switch gears. We're going to go to 3 cuts. We should get a cut on September 18th, and then at the November meeting, and then at the December meeting. Again, there's almost nothing that can happen with economic news that can prevent the Fed from cutting in a couple of weeks at the next meeting. What they do from there on, we'll see. Tomorrow is a really big day. We have a really hot number in the morning at 8:30. It's the non-farm payrolls. It's new job creation and the unemployment rate, and that the market is playing that may determine if the Fed goes a quarter point or a half point cut at the September 18th meeting. We think that's off the table. I don't think the Fed knows how to do anything but quarter point cuts, and they're always a little bit behind the curve. So that's what we see happening. But we'll watch that tomorrow. In terms of how we're going to play the market between now and the end of the year or into 2025, we are bullish. We're bullish into the end of the year. That being said, we respect the fact that it's September. We respect the fact that we're going to have tax selling between now and the election, and we respect the fact that we have an election with 2 very different candidates and a very different fiscal policy views that will impact the market in different ways. And the election is very tightly being run. So again, once the election is over, we're going to position ourselves to take advantage of whichever fiscal policy goes into place. So we'll deal with that when we kind of see them. But right now, we think once we get through the election and we get through maybe a week or 2 of kind of the market trying to figure out the policies and what's going to actually happen and how the timeline is going to work and how the Congress and the Senate shake out, then we believe, barring any geopolitical event that is pretty earth-shattering that we don't see coming, that you can never see coming, we're bullish into the end of the year as the market begins to price in 2025's earnings, and they're supposed to be strong for next year. So typically we get a good fourth quarter as the market predicts and prices in the next year's earnings. They stop looking at 2024 beginning right about now, and the market really isn't looking at 2024 and what they're going to do in the November earnings. They're looking into 2025. So that's it. We're seeing rates come down. And don't refinance your mortgage yet. We think you have a better shot to do that next year, and we'll do a future video on how to go about doing that. But that's how we see things playing out. Again, we like it into the end of the year, but between now and the election, we're going to respect this thing, and we are going to buy any pullbacks on weakness. Okay? Everyone have a great week, and if you have any questions, reach out to us. Take care.